And we should now be live, everyone. Good evening. No musical intro today. I thought I would just get straight to it since we are starting a little bit later because I was moderating for Evo. Do say hello in chat if you're here, and do let me know if anything is broken or looking a bit weird or needs to be turned up. And yes, so we are starting a completely new park on the Great Britain map. I'm just going to clear out all of this foliage. And we're going to do something a little different with this park. So the reason I'm starting a whole new park is twofold. Firstly, the park I started building a few weeks ago, the really big square park. Hello, Rick Rolled Rammy English Trap. The park I started building a couple of weeks ago, I've kind of hit a brick wall with it. I'm not sure where I want to go with the park, so I'm kind of thinking about what I'm going to do with it. First, I think this will be a pretty short stream, knowing how many British dinosaurs there are. Well, actually, I had a look at how many British animals there are, and the thing about Britain is that we're mostly known for our aquatic species. So I've expanded it to include some from Europe as well, because Britain and Europe were basically joined at the time, and we shared the same oceans and such. So I might put one or two European species in here as well. We'll see how it goes. Or I might use one or two sort of other species to represent dinosaurs that we don't have in game that are from the country. We'll play it by ear. But yeah, the other reason I'm starting a whole new park is this park is going to be built using some new mods. Specifically, Kyodenic's new paths and fencing mod. So, I didn't want to kind of build on a park I started that was safe, shall we say, and then end up not being able to use it if the game gets, massively updated in a couple of weeks' time, which Best in Slot seems to think is going to happen. I don't know why he thinks that, but he seems to suggest it's going to happen. But yeah, I didn't want the park to end up broken because of that, so I have seen the Neo Venator mod. I was not particularly impressed with it. I'm a bit picky with the mods I install. If you want, they've got to be good quality. And the Neo Venator mod was a bit bland, in my opinion. There wasn't very much going for it. But yeah, that's why we are starting a whole new park today. And I haven't actually tried to build a proper park on the UK map. I actually think the UK map is a map that doesn't get much use. I think a lot of people kind of ignore that the map exists, which is a shame, because I think it's one of the more interesting maps. It's one of the reasons why I think we need Isla Penna back, because, for as much as we all lamented the lack of space, there was something quite interesting about building on a map which does force you to try to be a little bit different with the way that you build the park. And also a park of this size, it's going to be easier to do lots of decoration for, and is going to be something we can build quite quick. So that's all the reasons for using the Great Britain map. So what basically the plan is we are going to have all the facilities we need down here. So let me just use the sand brush. So this is just going to be facilities here. The actual park entrance, I'm thinking, is going to be over here. And I'm thinking probably, let's think about where it makes sense to come in. Probably over here somewhere. And we're going to create a really nice big sort of entrance area with a dome over the entrance plaza. Somewhere there is going to be a a hedge maze. Now, thinking about where this could go, this area over here, I'm probably going to use for some aquatics. Or maybe have the aquatics here. And maybe have guest areas over here. That makes sense. Because this area is kind of a weird shape, I think, to actually get anything in. So it makes sense for some guest areas to be here. So we're going to have like there's going to be like a hedge maze here. And lots of guest areas here. G for guest area. There'll be path that kind of connects them all together. And most of the actual dinosaurs will be here. So that's the plan anyway. I agree, Nyctosaurus would be cool to have in game. It's why I suggested it in the video I most recently did. Sorry, I'm just quickly checking Evo's Discord because I probably need to explain what was going on with something that happened. Bear with me. There we go. Sorry, I just had to quickly explain. Hello, Spiny Games. It has been a while, hasn't it? How have you been? Glad to see you pop back in. And hello, Master Beta. Very funny name, very funny. Well, don't worry. The ugly Jurassic World Baryonyx has been replaced with a modded skin, so we won't be using that terrible one. So, let's build some simple facilities then. What should we use as our... we need something I do need to do. I need to put down the entrance point, the arrival point first, so it always works. No. What's angle snap? Shift. Shift is angle snap now. I keep forgetting that. Right, so we'll just put that in there. That way I know that the main entrance is done. We'll use this for our... Actually, I don't like that arrival point. That's not operationsy enough. Let's use that arrival point. Let's think about where it is safe. You wouldn't have it behind these mountains. I think having it there, so they're coming in over the sea, that's probably the safest place to put it. There we go. And we're going to use... We will eventually fence it in, but for the time being, let's just stick to facility path, classic main thoroughfare, facility viewing path, facility pass-through path, facility path, luxury standard path, classic main thoroughfare, luxury wide path, luxury main thoroughfare. What? I swear I've got some paths missing all of a sudden. Facility path. Standard path. Oh, standard path. Standard wide path. That was weird. The orders chain. Classic main thoroughfare. I'm sure that one comes in multiple sizes though. Am I completely wrong? I thought that the new paths that we got added came in more variety than this. I think something's gone wrong with the paths. Bear with me a moment. I think I'm going to have to restart. So I think something has gone slightly wrong. So I swear we had those paths in all three varieties. So just give me 1 sec, folks. Something seems to be odd. Maybe it's because I reinstalled the paths after. Let me just try this quickly. Minor technical hitch, folks. I do apologize. Standard paths and pylons. Don't see why this should have affected it, but copy. Expanded paths breaks. It had the same problem. Really? Because that's so annoying, though, because it adds all the new fencing that I wanted to use. Let me just... has Kai made a post on it at all? I'm gonna quickly... That's gonna be so annoying if it has broken, because, like, literally, he only updated it a few days ago. And now it's already broken again. Ah, yeah, okay. So it is this mod that has broken it. Ah, that's really bloody annoying. Okay. What we will do then temporarily is I will delete that particular mod. If you give me 2 seconds, folks. I do apologize. This is the life of someone that uses mods. Occasionally something will make it break, and there's nothing that you can do about it. I honestly thought his mod would not be infected by EPPF delete. I honestly thought his mod would not be affected by the anniversary patch. Can we have Tropiognathus of Ornithochirus? Well, Ornithochirus is not a British species, Saurian, so... Fun fact, most scientists agree that the British species of Iguanodon is no longer valid. I seriously doubt that, dude. Seriously doubt that, considering Iguanodon is one of the earliest species ever discovered and was first discovered here. And I have not heard anything about British Iguanodon species being down marked. So yeah, there you go. They're all back now. So yeah, it was that mod. That's such a shame. Ugh. I feel sorry for poor Okiadenic. You know, the other annoying thing is that I actually discovered that the new path mod also, the new paths that the anniversary adds, it also broke my path mods that I made. And it broke them in a really stupid way, because the game adds the new paths directly to the existing path folder. It didn't actually install anything to the new as a new content folder. So I literally am going to have to remake all of my original path mods at some point, because they've changed one thing. Right. Where can this go? I kind of want my lagoon hatchery to connect this. So I also don't want it to waste too much space. Anyway, sorry for that momentary glitch there. We will hopefully not have many more. Okay, lagoon hatchery also needed. Let's use that one. Place it there. Nice. And I think that's all we really kind of need for basic facilities to get the park going, isn't it? What I am going to do though is just create a bit of a ridge just to mark them off. Suppose we could also have our ACU here somewhere. The British species is now considered Mantellisaurus. Mantellisaurus is a completely different species of iguanodontid, Barger. The British species is now, and the other two species of iguanodon found in Spain and Belgium are the only valid remaining species of iguanodon. But dude, the iguanodons discovered in Britain are completely different to Mantellisaurus. I'm gonna have to go and look up this claim of yours, Barger, after the stream. But I think you're acting on wrong information there. Right, so let's have the gates. Where are the gates? Original gate? The classic gate, which actually... I don't really like the classic gate, if I'm honest. We will use the classic gate, but I'm not a big fan of it. Wow, what was with that huge, immense amount of terrain it just dug out? Thank God Kyodenics Move It mod is still working fine. Let's put the gate sort of there. And we can cover that up with trees and stuff. And we need ACU team. What are people's favorite ACU, the people's favorite era of ACU building? I'm quite partial to the Biosyn one myself. Jurassic Park. The Jurassic Park era one is nice. I mean, the Jurassic Park era one for me is one that I think you could get away with actually having in your park area somewhere, because it just looks very sort of decorative. Just wondering where for this could go. Maybe somewhere like that, but then they're going to have to drive all the way around. Okay, Barger, I'm going to have to look this up. Because this is actually disturbing me. Reassign species. Wow, this is actually quite a bit of a mess, actually. so what? So does British Iguanodon no longer exist? I'm confused. I'm actually having a look, Burger. Bear with me. Split Iguanodon into a new separate genus, Mantellosaurus, which has been generally accepted. In 2009, Iguanodon bernis. Right, so there is a species of Iguanodon, Iguanodon bernistanis, which is still considered Iguanodon, and Iguanodon Iguanodon bernisatensis is still considered British. So Barga, there has been a lot of there has been changes, but there is still a British Iguanodon. It's just most British iguana. There's Mantellosaurus and Iguanodon now, but it's Iguanodon bernis whatever is the British one. Hello, Neron, and yes, it was quite a stressful stream, wasn't it? Hello, Green Eagle. Okay, I need that ACU building. What are we going to use? I think we will use the Jurassic Park one. Just because I like the Jurassic Park Jeeps. And they'll just have to drive the long way. It is a bit confusing, Burger. But paleontology is a confusing mess most of the time. It's like the whole, is Dracorex a juvenile pachycephalosaurid or its own genus thing? There's not one clear answer. There's paleontologists who think it is, and some that think it's not. The only thing you can do is go off based on what evidence there is. Okay, so cars have the non-car route, car route. As is the whole Oxalia actually being a Spinosaurus thing. Yeah. There's never clear-cut answers to any of these problems half the time. It's also not helped that really in paleontology, some of these dinosaurs and that, we have so little information for them. And you get paleontologists trying to dream up exact information from so little records. Like that, what was it? There's I'm pretty sure there's been one this week, wasn't there? There was a new sauropod discovered, and they're all saying, "Oh, it could be, it's it's bigger than any other sauropod before," and they found like a single bone or something, and it just makes me laugh. It's like, you have found barely anything of this animal, and you're already saying, "Oh, well, it's going to be the biggest one ever." Just how about you wait and actually just dig up more of this animal? Anyway. What should we use for like a dirt path? I think the classic wide path works quite well as a road. There we go. And we will make use of temperate trees to just cover this. Okay, and naturally it doesn't want to put some where I want them, because the Jurassic World Evolution to Tree Brush is a nightmare. Honestly, I hate the Jurassic World Evolution to Tree Brush. Like, we all had problems with the tree brush in the first game, but for this game, they made the tree brush worse. And I don't understand why. Dinosaur fans after getting an update, sad noises. Yeah. The broken, I feel sorry for Kyodenic. He's literally just, you know, given us the updated mod, and then literally within a few days, it's broken again. I really wouldn't, like, be surprised if modders just start. And you know why it's broken? It's because the new DLC, the anniversary update they've released, the new paths that they've released, they don't actually add to the new content folder. They actually add to the existing folder. Literally, if you check the files out, there's a 1 kilobyte file inside the new content folder that basically just puts all the new paths in the existing content folder. That's why it's broken. It's just basically been broken because Frontier are being lazy. Anyway, let us get on with creating our entrance. Spinosaurus changes every single week. Yeah, but we love Spinosaurus for that. Okay, 1 and 2. And 1 and 2. There you go. Now, what I want to do is create like a domed entrance area, because if you come to Britain, you'll note that we have a great many domed, you know, structures and things. I quite like the mortar one for this, but it's a little too red and rusty. So I'm going to use this one. Now, that is covering the entrance and everything. We are going to grab it with Kyodenics mod. And then we are going to lift it. Now, I don't want to lift it too much, because what I want is for the new mural sections to be what the new aviary sits on top of. So I probably should have lined it up a bit better. So that actually needs to go down a little bit. Whoops. And where is it? So that is on there now. That works. Okay. So now all we have to do is put in the mural around that. Next thing you know, Spinosaurus can glide using its tail. Yeah. I'm guessing because the weather in the British Isles is hell. Not actually. It's more of the fact that Britain had a lot of Victorian engineers, like Isambard Kingdom Brunel, who just loved putting domes over stuff. Oh, now that's annoying. I'm going to have to mark where the dome is. And then build the mural. And then put the dome on top of it. So I think we will have... I kind of want entrances to the park at the diagonals. So I have one there. And one there. And then we're going to put the entrances on there. And one sort of there. And then I'm going to turn off angle snapping because I think I'm going to need to adjust things a bit to make this work. That one is... You know what, maybe angle snapping is the better thing to leave on. You're building a park in Germany. I do like the Germany map. I think it's one of the just outrightly nice maps to play. I know this is probably not going to line up perfectly with the dome, but we can always adjust the position of stuff and at a later date. There we go. I'm actually going to design the rest of the interior of this, so going to have some curved path. Straight, actually. There we go. Dino Army, hello. Then I kind of want there to be like a... seating area at this end. And I think maybe fill in this bit with plants, I think. Yeah. I think we obviously are going to need a mural or something. Not a mural. Where's the... there's the thing I want. Should be big enough. And then we'll just put down... I don't know. Kind of feel like that should go somewhere else. What about... those are a bit too long to fit in there. That's a bit annoying. Same as the pillars. Actually, I'm going to switch that out. Fletcher doesn't like the Rex statue. No, I don't like the Rex statue. Although I will be using it in here, but I'm going to use it in a very specific way. So... okay, that works. And then I'm just going to grab some... I think maybe bushes? Okay. And we are going to use Rex statue. What I'm going to do is I'm going to place it in here, where I don't have to look at it. We are going to do something special with it. What I want to do is use it... Where's the... There it is. Okay, so we're going to grab the Rex. And we're going to just move it... Actually, I think like that. Oh no, I think we can have it... I think we can have it a little further down. There you go. We can have it standing on the other one. And then that way it looks a little bit less strange, in my opinion. I'm just going to put some additional rocks around it. And then we're going to bed it in with some vegetation. So let's grab some of those. And then we're going to put some trees behind it. That might be a bit too big. We'll see if I can get away with that. There we go. I actually think that statue's a little boring on its own. Where are the fountains? I can never find the fountains. There they are. Something like that. So it looks like... I think that looks pretty good. Something along those lines. I say Frontier never adds mammals. In my opinion, people who say Camp Cretaceous is bad but say no, the Saurus Smilodon would be good in the game don't deserve them. Hello, Nerd Guy. Didn't see you pop in. Well, in regards to Camp Cretaceous, firstly, isn't the Smilodon a fake. I distinctly remember seeing like a robot Smilodon. So I don't think we can really say that it's a true Smilodon. Actually, I don't like the tables and chairs being there. We'll have the tables and chairs over here. I think it makes more sense. And we can make a nicer area with them. A robot? What do you mean, robot? The Smilodon is not fake. No. I'm sure I've seen like a screen cap of like a Smilodon or a saber-toothed tiger in it from Camp Cretaceous, and it turned out to be a robot. Like, it had like a robot head. There were just weird robots in that season. Oh, right, so the Smilodons were real. They just had weird robots. Okay. Then I was misled. Oh, well, in that case, why don't we have them in Jurassic World Evolution 2, honestly? That seems like a perfectly good excuse to have them in the game now. I wouldn't be against having them in. I mean, I don't like Camp Cretaceous. I think it's appalling, but why not put the Smilodons in if the Smilodons were in the show? It's so strange. Put that there. Sorry, I'm just debating with myself about where to put planters. Actually, I think that's fine, and we can just do something like that. Yeah, that's good. Line that with sand. There's sand down here as well, because I will just put in lots of plants once I've got the dome over the top. Because putting the dome over is going to be the annoying part of what happens next. Where is the... That's about there. Yeah, so you get... Some of these are going to have to be shifted, and that's fine. We know now what we can do. They also left out Spinoceratops and Nothosaurus. Well, I think the problem with Nothosaurus is that we can't really have it until they change how they're going to do semi-aquatic life. Okay, that there. This piece can just be shifted over slightly. That's fine. This piece shifted over slightly. That's fine. This piece shifted over slightly. That's fine. Any gaps we can cover up with plants, pretty much. Ah, see, that's going to be annoying. How does it look if that... I think we can get away with that. I would have done this before stream, but I didn't have time. This week has been kind of busy. Who here's watched Clone Wars? I've watched some of it. I admit I'm not a massive Star Wars fan. As Nerd Guy will attest, my sci-fi is Star Trek, preferably. And I will argue with anyone who states that Star Trek is not as interesting as Star Wars. Why did I decide to do such a difficult sodding thing? I'm always like this. When I was at school, whenever we would be like doing woodwork projects or something, I would always go for a really stupidly complicated, excessive design. I always had ideas above my station, as it were. I really don't actually like how that is sitting. So I think what I'm going to do is just cut it off there and do the same basically there, and then we'll grab another one to fill in the gap. Now, how does that look from the inside? These plants are a bit strange. I thought I might have to change the position of these plants slightly. If you sink them down a bit. There we go. That'll do. It's that weird, like, really thick concrete edge that it has, which is kind of annoying. It almost needs another layer of mural. However, I think we will go with that for the moment. And now I'm just going to close the rest in. That's around the back. No one's going to see it anyway. Now we're just going to plant plenty of trees in here. Same over here. That's a bit tall, but it'll do. Do with covering up that awkward spot there with something. That was not big enough. You know, I might come back to it and decide to alter. Because actually I thought that was going to turn out to be a little better looking than it has actually turned out to be. But for the moment, For the moment, I think that will do. Massive frame rate loss inside of here. Blimey. Right. For the moment, that will do. If I said Star Wars is better than Star Trek, would Fletcher get mad? I wouldn't get mad. I just said that you're wrong. I mean, firstly, I think there's room for both sci-fi franchises. But secondly, you're wrong. Somehow, one of the Gallimimus in my park just sent a tour vehicle flying over the fence. That's concerning. Right, now I think our first species here really ought to be Polycanthus. Because Polycanthus is like the most non-threatening, easy to look after. It's just kind of a stupid dinosaur, really. Like not particularly intelligent. Yes, hon?
Don't you think you should drink something?
Sorry?
Don't you think you should drink something?
I have a drink here. I have my yop.
Water beast.
I'll be fine. How many people have seen Carnosaur? I have not seen Carnosaur. I have not even heard of Carnosaur. Now we need a viewing gallery of some description here. Oops. Do we? Is Polycanthus, for goodness sake. No, I did do something wrong. Haven't flattened out all the terrain. Oh, that's a classic error. Schoolboy mistake. I hope I can put water down at that height. Yes, I can. Glorious. Right. I googled Carnosaur's sequels. Oh, God. It's a dinosaur horror movie released in 1993 based off a book that released before the JP novel and a movie that was released before Jurassic Park. Oh, dear. I bet that's interesting. I'm going to say interesting. That's the word I'm going to use. I don't really want to put it there because it gives so much dead space. There we can do something with it. You are connected, you stupid thing. There we go. Not small electrified fence. I want the other one. There's the new one. And we're going to curve it down. Not going to have it right up against the path. I want it to be like an inch away. Because they're only Polacanthus. Why is that not straight? For heaven's sake. I'm just having one of those days. One, two, three, four, five. One, two, three, four, and five. There we go. That's actually not a very big enclosure. I'm not happy with that. And again, they are only Polacanthus, I suppose. But we can... I suppose we could always mix it up and put some iguanodons in there. And just make a larger first enclosure out of it. That makes sense, actually. Okay, instead of these galleries being there, let's have the galleries on this side instead. And let's have them... Let's have one there. And have one... What have I done? Why is that? Damn it. Oh, I swear it's the heat. It's been so warm here today in the UK. 30 degrees. Which is basically our usual height of summer weather. I swear it's made me a little sluggish today. One, two, three. One, two, three. One and two. There is a reason I'm leaving quite big gaps. What I want to do is I want to put plenty of trees or decorations around the edges. Have this go up to... Let's see, that's a 2. That's a 4. There. Same here. We'll take it up to... When the fence changes to 4 bars. There we go. That's another tip I would suggest people do if you want to try and get your fencing to be accurate. Count, have a look at when the fences change from the set number of bars to the next set number of bars. And you can use that to guide your building. That enclosure doesn't look any bigger than the one I just had. Oh well, whatever. Okay. We are going to line that bit there. Same here, a bit further up. Yep. There we go. want to turn this into a decorative area of some description. I am glad they've given us paths back. Oh, thank you, Green Eagle. It is nice to see that the super chat system does actually work since we turned it on. Because obviously, at the moment, our videos don't have any of the other regular monetization on. Are you going to watch the 12-hour stream? Yes, I am. I'm going to be moderating the 12-hour stream. So I'm probably going to be there all stream. So don't worry, we will be keeping the chat safe from people who want to complain about moderators not being democratic and everything else for a while. Okay, that's good. I'm happy with that. Now I want to sink this enclosure down slightly because I really don't like the fact... See, this is why I wanted to use Kaidenix's fence mod, because then I could use the less tall fences. But I can't, because it's been broken by the new paths. How far down am I going to have to sink that to hide the fence? That's a deep... That's very deep. I'm not sure I could even make that work, to be honest. That's a very deep enclosure. Maybe democratic when you should be a monarchy. Well, exactly. Like, democracy is all well and good, although, oddly enough, like, people think they live in a democracy, but we don't. The West doesn't have a democracy. If you think we do, you're unfortunately mistaken. What we actually all live in currently is an elected dictatorship. We elect our official, and that's it. True democracy is rather different from what we all have in the West.
I mean, what is it? Elderly people are too old and don't have the sense to vote, yet they're the people running the country?
Exactly. That's going to annoy me. I can't get that down to the same level. You know what? I'm actually going to remove that one. What I'll do is I will use some invisible fencing and a little bit of decorative trickery to hide the fact that there is no fence there. Why is that one too small? There we go. Grab the terrain tool, just put in rock texture here. Not too much. Just wanted enough. There we go. Now what I could then do is do like a ring of decoration. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. There we go. All live streamers are dictators. Exactly. But that's, you know, we have to be. Otherwise, the chats would become a nightmare. If people want stream chats to be well behaved, then they have to accept that sometimes they aren't going to be democratic. Sometimes we do have to make the rules, and we do have to say, you know, if you don't like the rules, you know where the door is. And people who argue with moderators are just stupid anyway. Like, honestly, dude. Why would you argue with the moderators? There we go. That looks better. Fletcher, so I have this idea for my park in Germany where the main entrance area is fenced off and you have to take a jeep tour to get to the main park. Interesting. I think people would complain about that, to be honest. Tell you what, the rock texture on this map sucks. Now we are going to have to slope this down, otherwise it's going to look very weird when Polacanthus and Iguanodon just kind of fly themselves up here. Again, use a little bit of invisible fence trickery just to stop dinosaurs climbing up all the weird sections. And we'll cover it up with rock skin. The rocks are not in the decorations tab. I always forget that. There we go. Obviously, we're going to need some water down here, or our iguanodons and Polacanthus are going to starve. Not starve, dehydrate. The exact thing that Dane warned me about a minute ago. Let's have a little bit more down here. A little sand, and then put some rock underneath. Just for some fake depth. There we are, lovely. I think the frontier should make it where dinosaurs can't walk up steep enough hills. Yeah, I mean, it is a bit bizarre how much walking ability they have, and it would definitely help us within with sort of enclosure design and stuff if they would not walk up really steep hills. However, Frontier are always short of making really perfect decisions. Like, they're a bit like War Thunder or World of Tanks in a way, Frontier. They have really great ideas, and then they implement them in the worst possible ways. Are we doing like imaginary British dinosaurs, like using another dinosaur and calling it a dinosaur it looks like? Yes. So I'm going to use Dryosaurus as Hypsilophodon. But I have a mod that adds Eustriptus spondylus, so we won't need to replace that one. I think we'll go for a nice kind of like a meadow. Yeah. Just like a little bit of a meadow. Lovely. Have a little bit of forest up in the corners. Fine, I will use ginkgo because the normal forest brush doesn't want to stick trees in. Honest to God, Frontier. Put a couple of little ginkgos in here and there. Fibrous ground cover around where the water is, because these are all water plants. Maybe a little there. Try and get some ferns with those. Yeah, that'll do. Lovely. Right. Now, the bigger problem is I haven't figured out the skins I want to use here. I wonder if I can get my skin database to actually load. I'm actually remaking my skin database at the moment because the old database just didn't quite work after I started trying to add pictures. Also, did you know paleontologists said they found remains of baryonyx in North Africa? Yeah, there's been some possible baryonyx discoveries all over the world. Like, apparently they've discovered baryonyx fossils in Spain as well, so... Are we loading? Who wants to load it? Also, just thinking about where we have our first carnivore, I want to make use of this, like, water here. So I'm thinking maybe we could have, like, the Megalosaurus in here. Give them, say... How big is that for an enclosure? That's a bit small. How big is that? That feels a little better. We need to figure out, you know, because we've got to have baryonyx somewhere. I'm thinking maybe have the baryonyx over here. The government in the Jurassic World movies let the dinosaurs die naturally. The government in the book bombs away. Yeah. Yes. The government in the book is certainly... there's my skin database. Right, Iguanodon. Iguanodon. Should we have the walking with dinosaur skin? So that's Pulkrana and Yukon River. Actually, so let's ask the chat. So do we do just skins that we like for our dinosaurs, or do I do male and female dinosaurs in the park? What do we think? Male and female, or skins that we like? Because we could do walking dinosaur skins, skin for the iguanodon, but give it a male and a female version. Male and female, says Jacob. While you're doing that, I'm just going to quickly check on...
It helps if you finish your sentence.
Yeah, sorry, I was reading something. Male and female, male and female, male and female, male and female. Okay, male and females it is. So what was the rule I went with for male and females for the iguanodon? Iguanodon. Okay, mangrove forest, lithobates, pulcrana, or pelophylax. Lardell, Hawasco, Peperana, Killian Mountains, pulcrana. I see. So I went with slightly... Okay, if we want to do it with Walking with Dinosaurs colours, which I think chat does, let's do the males. So Iguanodon. Iguanodon, there we are. So it's Yukon, one of three. Oh, right. Yukon River. And then Pulkrana for the stripes. So that's white stripes. And then matching white stripes, use Papurana. So let's grab... Oh god, needy and short-lived. Sounds like an average male, I suppose. Now, to be realistic, we probably want to have one male to 3 females. So, social, nocturnal. Let's go with that one. So there's our single male. Fletcher, how would you feel about Maya Gaia in the park because it was found in Portugal? I don't think I have Maya Gaia installed because it hasn't been updated. I think. I'm not sure if the new species mods that were made before the feathered dinosaur update are still working or not, because no one seems to have like updated them. So Pulkrana is white stripes. Oh, Papurana is green, and Pelo... I'm just checking my database here. Brown, Yukon River, grey stripes with Rana. Okay, so the females we probably want to do Rana then. We'll see how this turns out. We can always kill them and change it. True, Maya Gaia could be a stand-in for Decentrus. But then I think Chunkingosaurus could also be a stand-in, couldn't it? Or Hawango. I don't actually know what Decentrosaurus actually looks like. I have to have a look. On my vacation, I did actually go and see the fossil. And it's just a cube. It's just a square shape with lots of bones in it. You can't really see the outline of the animal. Let's whack it on fast forward to get him in here. Maya Gaia does work. I have it installed right now. Interesting to know. One, 2, 3, 4. See, obviously, once the expanded paths and fences mod is finally updated, we can get rid of some of these flower beds and put the fencing in instead. Honestly, why has Frontier not given us a low fence? Like, why do we not have a decorative fence? It's such a weird thing for them not to give us. They just think people don't want to decorate their parks. These are the same people who made stuff like Planet Zoo. Why are they so stupid? Fighting has begun between Iguanodon 2 and Iguanodon 1. Now. Dear. Ever so slightly concerned they might kill each other. I may have to turn... Well, we'll see how the combat goes. I actually think that does work, though. The male being very distinctively white striped, and the females ever so slightly striped, but not too much. They have the red heads instead of the striped heads. I think that works. We need some Polacanthus in here now. Fletcher, in your opinion, which would win, a T-Rex or a tank? A tank, easily. A tank can fire a slug of depleted uranium 2 kilometers that can penetrate the armor of literally any modern battlefield weapon. It would have no problem at all penetrating the skull of a T-Rex. And even if it didn't kill the T-Rex, a high explosive round would certainly do it. Which is why the whole story of Dominion is a complete waste of space. The idea that the military would just let dinosaurs take over the way that they have, utter nonsense. Right, male and females for Polacanthus. Polacanthus, Sonoran Desert and Pulcrana, Yukon River, and Lithobates. You know, let's make them a little more colourful. So, Sonoran Desert and Pulcrana. That's our male variety. And that goes with Death Valley and Pulcrana. That's our female variety, and let's have 1 male to 2 females, because we don't want to overfill that. I mean, I live in America, and knowing how many guns people own, the military would not need to get involved. You do have a point there, Barger. Again, save invasive species. This is an amazing message, Dominion. Really hard fought. Yeah. Guests are complaining about the lack of facilities. Well, I haven't got any facilities yet. Stop complaining, they'll be built. I'm just trying to get dinosaurs in first, you idiots. Do you think I want to just make those side paths a little thicker? And then we'll probably surround the edge of this dome with trees or something. Yeah, let's grab the forest brush. Again, Jurassic World Evolution. Not putting trees in where there's clearly space for trees. I do hope people can actually... I'm just going to stick down like an amenities here, just to see if people will actually spawn from this entrance in the aviary, because if not, I'm probably going to have to change the design of this aviary, the roof, and it'll have to do something different. I know they can spawn inside because I've built it before like that. Because this is considered the first entrance. Arrival point 1. Come on, folks. You should be able to arrive from here, too. I'm going to have to delete the one that's over here. I really hate the way that they're the decorative and non... Why not just give us multiple arrival points? They're not spawning in here. They ought to be. I'm going to try something in a minute. I'm going to... Why are you crazy people not spawning? That's so strange. Why are they not spawning? We just have like a ghost park. Only these facilities are the ones... What is going on? Hang on a second. What's going on here? Now people will spawn. Okay. That was a bit bizarre. I'm also aware that in the deleting... As in deleting the dome, it's just deleted all my hard work. Oh well. Right, so now they are actually spawning. So if I put one over here as well. Okay, people spawning, that's good. People still spawning. Despawning. Why are they... Come on. Actually come into the park, people. Crikey. Right. I will figure out what I'm going to do with the entrance. Because otherwise I'm going to get distracted by that. Oh, our Polacanthus are sleeping. There's our male. So he's got a red back, sort of a tan belly and stripes. And then our females have a lighter coloured back, but the same stripes. So there's the male, darker back. Female has the lighter back. It would be nice to have that undo button. I don't mind. I wasn't particularly sold on the domed entrance anyway. I didn't like how it messed up the mural. It wasn't, you know, it's a very British thing to have at the dome, but I can always find another way to deal with it, to do it. Shall we name our male? So let's have some names here. Where's our male iguanodon? Where is our male iguanodon? There he is. Let's name our male iguanodon. A suitable male name. Chad. Benches? What? A name for an iguanodon? Gideon. I love that name. We'll call him Gideon. Although I don't think it's EON, isn't it? ION? No? ION? Isn't it that? IEON? I don't know. EON. Oh no, yeah, that's it. There, isn't it? Gideon it is. What about our male Polacanthus? What shall we name him? What's going on here? Why are you running? Where are you going? Benches 3. No. Cow? It's a male Polacanthus. Name the male Polacanthus Scarlet. Is Scarlet... I would say Scarlet's more of a female name. Unless, of course, you put Captain before it, and then it becomes a male name. But anyway. Scott. Scott the Polacanthus. Great Scott. Anyway, there you go. So you've got Scott and Gideon and their harems of females. And that is the correct terminology. Coffee table. Coffee table is not a name. Now what I'm going to put in here, actually, I'm going to do this as the Eustriptus spondylus. Because the Eustriptus spondylus mod has some really distinctive skins. And I love them. So actually going to make that the same level as that surrounding cliff. There we are. Make this like a little bit of raised terrain. Then we're going to make this as close to a flat edge as we can. Like so. Because we're going to make it look like this is a concrete ridge line here. So if I get the facility path, yeah, the facility path will about do it, I think. that. Oh. That was too much. Blimey. Ah, God. These slope and intensity brushes really can be very useless. That will do. It's not perfect, but that will do. Can I get the male Eustriptus spondylus called Churchill? Sure. Metri is British as well. Yes, it is. Right. We will use invisible fencing. Outside the build area. Don't be stupid, computer. I'm using mods. Your build area is a laugh. I can place things outside your build area if I really wish to. Don't tempt me. Honestly, I have such a love-hate relationship with this game. There we go. There's our invisible fencing. Going to try and replace some of those trees it just got rid of, but of course it won't let me because screw you, that's why. I'm going to give a bit more water to these guys. There we are. Good. And then I think for viewing the Striptospondylus, we'll have a... We will have a viewing gallery. Maybe... Let's think... In the middle? Off to the side? In the middle. And then we'll probably also have like a couple of amenities up here with like upstairs seating to have a look in. Oh, Fletch, when is the Subnautica stream you were planning on doing? Thank you, Neron, for reminding me. So I had a question about that. So I've actually been sort of relearning Subnautica and getting, you know, some practice in. And so one of the things I've kind of noticed is that a lot of Subnautica is spent fucking around. Let's just be blunt. A lot of Subnautica is spent fucking around with stuff like inventory management and your inventory at home, and you know, it became very clear to me that if I did do it as a stream, a lot of the stream would just be me fucking around with stuff. So I'm thinking, instead of doing it as a stream, do them as videos. Now, do people think that would be better to do them as videos, or would people still want to see me do it as stream? Because the whole point of the Subnautica playthrough would be to play through the whole game. And doing it as stream, that would be a lot of stream. So it's really up to what people would rather see. I mean, I'm happy to do it as a stream. I'm happy to do it as videos. It's just whatever people would prefer. I don't mind them being videos. I don't see many people stream Subnautica anyway. Well, that is also true. Like, a lot of people don't stream Subnautica. And I suppose if you're streaming, some of the scarier moments are perhaps more entertaining. But again, I don't want people to get sort of bored, because a lot of the stream is spent messing around with inventory or stuff like that. It is, yes. The British sand is a proper sand in this map. Yeah, I know my guests are complaining. Guests complain. They are all miserable people. Seriously, the guests in this game complain more than the sort of Karens that Dane have to put up with at his workplace. I mean, honestly.
What went on this time?
Nothing. I was just pointing out that the people in this game are complaining more than the people at your work complain.
Don't get me started.
I think this enclosure needs something. I mean, it's for the Eustriptus spondylis. Fletcher, can we get a chrono statue sunk into the water for walking with dinosaurs? Ooh, that's a good idea, Barger. Lovely. I literally just thinking, what can I do for this enclosure? Let's cave a chrono. There's the Chronosaurus. Let's just put him down. Let's remove some of this foliage. Okay, so turn him around, sink him down. I need to make him sort of... that was a bit much. Something a bit like that. Maybe lift him up a bit. I just almost sneezed. What do we think? Something like that? And then I can always use like a couple of small rocks just to... Thinking maybe if we add like the log. And then if we actually sink this one into the dirt as well. There we go. Maybe have another one. Just have this one there and whoops, sink it like properly in. Like that. Maybe that could be an artificial feeder. Subnautica, I think, would be better for streaming because there's a lot of resource gathering and boring moments. So don't you mean Dino Army? Don't you mean then that it would probably be better as videos, not streams? Man, that scene in Walking with Dinosaurs was so good. Well shot, written, and edited. Absolutely golden. Definitely. Definitely, you know, something of my childhood, that Walking with Dinosaurs scene. Trying to think if we could do something else for the Eustriptus pondylus. Let's put in the fountain, and then let's... and maybe just give them a fountain, something to drink from. I mean, I would say put like the food deployers under it, but I think it might screw up their pathfinding, to be honest. It's raining again. Which, contrary to popular belief, you know, we are not a rainy nation. We do have rain, but I would argue we are not a rainy nation. I think people think that we get a lot more rain than we actually do. The first documentary I saw was Dinosaur Revolution. Again, not a documentary I remember seeing. Yeah, just give them like a little fountain, and maybe it is a bit flat. Let's give them a bit of like raised terrain, just to make it a bit less flat. Yeah. Oh, I know what we could also put in here. Let's give them like a little bit of a castle. Britain has many, many castles. So it does work for us to give them a bit of a one. Let's just decorate this. Yeah, give them a bit of a castle too. That works. Hello, as dark a day. Yep, just about. Still got about 10 minutes or so. Right, Eustriptus spondylus time. I am going to just randomize. Where are we? Eustriptus spondylus. Random and random. We have 4. How many Eustriptus spondylus should we do? Svalbard, Killian Mountains, and Pelophylax. Svalbard. I'll have all 4. They're not particularly big animals, so There we go. Are people still around here? They are. Okay. Oh yes, we need to name one of them Winston, don't we? We will do that once they're all there. Wondering what we can do about this seating area here. Maybe have the mural? Hmm. Ah, that's interesting. Actually, let's do that. Let's get rid of those. And let's put the curved pieces kind of like there. And there. And we can have one in the middle. Ah, that's a bit unfortunate. I'll use either side. Who's iguanodon are noisy? And behind it, let's have like a couple of fountains. Like an amber statue? Yeah. Shall we name all of them after World War II people except that one, you know? Like Anne Frank or Alan Turing, or maybe the British ones. I would be alright with naming one of them Turing, for sure. Could we get Carcharodontosaurus as a stand-in for Neovenator? The thing about that is Neovenator is nowhere near the size of Carcharodontosaurus. Could we get a Loch Ness inspired one for the Plesiosaurus? Well, we'll obviously have Attenborosaurus and Plesiosaurus in the park over here, probably. I'm just going to fast forward this to get them over. And while they're doing that, I'm just going to finish what I was doing over here. Just have like a nice little seating area. We have 3 over here. Yeah. And then maybe put a couple of statues down. Right, where are our Eustriptus spondylus? Let's start with where's number 1? There's number 1. So there is number 1. And we are naming him Churchill. And number 2 we'll have as Turing. Oh. number 3 and number 4 are trying to phase through into each other. What shall we call number 3? Hank's swimming coach. Jonathan Sims, Jazzinator 3000. I actually really like Jazzinator. We'll call this one the Jazzinator. And this last one, I'm going to name this last one. I'm going to call him Dreadnought. So you've got Churchill, Turing, Turning? It's supposed to be Turing. Turing, Jazzinator, and Dreadnought. Dang it, John Curtin after leader of Australia during World War II. Oh. But yeah, these are some quite distinctive patternings, aren't they? Which is why I like them, because they are very distinctive in coloration. I know some people like their dinosaurs to be, you know, brown, but I don't think there's anything wrong with dinosaurs being a little more colourful. Yeah, I mean, some of the colour combination, you know, the brightness of the pink hues, it's a bit much, but actually I don't mind it too much. So, coming up to the end of the stream, while we are off stream and before next week, I'm probably going to figure out what I want the entranceway to be of this particular park, and do some experiments to see if I can put the dome over the top and if it's going to mess things up or if not. And yeah, next week we will get back. Next Sunday we'll get back to it. Subnautica there. I mean, the Subnautica videos or streams won't be for a while because I want to. There's quite a few other videos that need to be made first. Like, I want to make a video. Me and Nerd Guy Productions need to record a video that our retrospective review of Fallen Kingdom. I want to do a video talking about the scientist system in this game, and do a video on the worst skins in this game. And then obviously there's the stream next Sunday. So yeah, probably another couple of weeks before anything Subnautica related comes. So I want to make sure there's plenty of dinosaur stuff in Jurassic June. But yeah, we got a little bit done. Maybe not as much as I would have liked, but obviously we had that bit at the beginning where things mucked up a bit. Thank you everyone for tuning in for this particular stream. It's been nice to talk to you all. Tomorrow, remember, of course, there will be no stream because I will be busy helping Evo out all day. And I hope to see some of you guys there on Evo stream. So thank you, Barger, Neuron, Jacob, who's been here, Saurian, who's been here, Dino Army, who's been here. Looking back through the chat, Nerd Guy was here. Potato Man was here.
Oi, oi.
Not you. There was actually someone called Potato Man.
I know, I'm just saying I was here too.
Oh, Daddy Cactus Daddy was here as well. And obviously Green Eagle, who donated. So yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in. I'll see you all next week, and enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe, and good night, everyone.